Hi everyone, welcome. How's everybody doing today? So grateful to have you all. We will get started very soon. Sorry about the delay. I was meant to start quite a while ago, but I had to do my hair. My hair took longer to do than I expected. So I will be doing this live now. How's everybody doing? Hi Miss J, thank you for that. Make sure everybody, as you come in, that you are liking the video so it shares the algorithm. Yeah, so let's get into it. I'm really excited to have you all. Thank you for joining. I've made my lives earlier because I saw that in the algorithm, a lot of you guys join earlier, so that you're active earlier. So I'm going to do earlier. I'm going to try every week to start to do it at 2 p.m. But time gets annoying. But I'll try. Okay, let's get into it. This isn't going to be that long because I have to run an errand after this. But I wanted to come on live with you guys and just say hi. And we'll do our 3 couples of the week as we have been doing before. I'm going to start with Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. And some of you have recently written, that he has a trial coming up in January, which is very interesting. I heard January 21st, something like that, which is the first day of the Aquarius season. It's very, very interesting. So let me just read out the charts really quickly before I get into it. Rihanna, her sun is in Pisces. Her moon is in Aries and her rising is in Aries. Very interesting that her rising is Aries. I've actually done a recent live on them, but I want to do a quick update just because something was calling me to do it. So I'm not going to go too much into the charts. Check out, I think it was like 2 months ago that I did an update on them, so check that out. I'm going to do the other one. Let's see. So I'll get more into the other couples. I'm just doing like a brief update on them. So him, his sun is in Libra, moon is in Cancer. His rising isn't here, but you get the gist of it. I get very territorial energy from him, which makes sense because his moon is in Cancer. And let me see his Venus. His Venus is in Leo. Wow. Interesting. So let's see what the outcome of the trial is going to be, because that's going to play a big part in their relationship. I did say I've been accurate a lot about their relationship. Go watch my other videos. I've been accurate a lot. I said he's going to be in some kind of legal trouble, stuff like that. So go check it out. Okay, so the outcome, wow, Strength, Ace of Pentacles. She's going to see a different side to him and want to call it quits. Especially with Ace of Pentacles and Knight of Cups. She's going to see that he won't match up to the kind of man she wants to be with. And right now, they are like, I wouldn't say, I mean, let me say this. If it were up to me, I would only want the best for both of them, particularly Rihanna. I think she's been through a lot in her life. She deserves happiness. She really, really deserves it. And I want that for her so much. But me wanting that for her and it happening are 2 different things. If that makes any sense. Like what I read, I don't want to be biased in what I read. Hold on. Let me make it stop on. Hold on. what I read, I pick up through the tarot cards has nothing to do with me and what I want. But I see here that through the trial, he's going to change his energy. His energy is going to be very different towards. He's going to be stressed out, and he's not going to handle the stress well. Especially because people will be telling her, leave him, to one. Like, get your life together, go away. Like, you can do so much better. And it's going to have an influence on how she feels. I promise you. It really, really is. And I wish them the best, but that's the update I have for them. It's going to be a lot. This trial is not only going to be a trial for the crimes he committed, but a trial for their relationship too. going to be a very tough time for him and them. Let's just say that. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the second couple. Unless anybody wants to add anything. No? Okay. Let's move on to, I'm gonna use the Crystal Magic Tarot for this. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, who I had up on the screen. My slideshow is so weird today, I don't know what's going on. I had it set out to time. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It's just not performing the way that it should. Anyways, let me get into it. So, let's do an update. I have pulled up the birth charts. Let's see. Meghan Markle is very interesting to me. She's very, very interesting. So let's see her chart. Her sun is in Leo, Moon is in Libra, and rising is in Cancer. I can see that. And his chart, let's see. He's Sun in Virgo, Moon in Taurus, Venus in Libra. I can't find his rising, but let's see her Venus. Her Venus is in Leo. Interesting. And this is in Libra. So I have said this for quite some time. I see him going back to Buckingham Palace. I see him kind of trying to be rebellious. That's why he married her. Go back and watch my videos. Actually, they were my first video on Instagram. If you don't know the backstory of this channel, I used to do videos on Instagram, and they would get a lot of views. I get like 10,000 views, 15,000 views. So somebody, one of my followers, sent me a message, and they were like, "Why don't you start a YouTube channel?" Like, I don't know how I feel about that. They were very sweet. They were like, "We love your channel. I love your channel. Why don't you start a YouTube channel?" I was like, I don't think YouTube's for me. Yeah, and they helped me out of the kindness of their heart. So sweet. It's because they liked my Instagram videos. So that was very sweet. I wish I could remember their names, but that's what made me start it. And this was actually my first video that I did. I did Ellen DeGeneres, him, Britney Spears. What's that guy's name? Anyways, doesn't really matter. Lamar. What's his name? Something Lamar? Anyways. Not Kendrick Lamar, the basketball guy. So I predicted that he would go back to Buckingham Palace. And I predicted that he was just going through his rebellious era because he didn't feel understood by his family. But after everything, he would end up returning. And people forget that, and I did say that I see another woman come into the picture, and she's going to parental alienate him from the kids. I said that, I saw that coming. I said 2024, I believe. I said in 5 years, and I did that in 2019. No, I did it in 2021. I said in 5 years, this will all come to fruition. So I still believe in that prediction. Time is fluid, so it can be different. But I still believe in the prediction. Excuse me. I live on a busy road, so that's why I believe. I do believe that the prediction will come to fruition. I strongly believe that. So let's see currently their energy. Okay, so with the Devil, Man of Swords, and King of Swords, I think he stopped drinking. He's had to get honest about something in his life. And I see it being very much about his energy. And the Devil card is Capricorn. Jupiter's in Capricorn. Yeah, the Devil card, there's some Capricorn energy that is making him see things in a very black and white way, and he's being very to the point about certain things. They're not really seeing eye to eye. They're having a lot of issues. And she's just acting like, everything's fine. I remember actually, I was talking to one of my good friends when they first started dating. And I've never been a royal family person, even though I went to a very British school. We used to, I don't know, I did this live where I explained my history with the royal family, not my personal history, but I went to a British school where we used to honor the Queen when she was alive. We used to have Monday morning assembly, and part of our prayer was part of our prayer to her. Um, so I went to a school that was very much believed in the monarchy, very much very connected to the monarchy. In fact, one of my family friends went to school with Prince Harry, went to the same school as him. At the same time, I think he's 2 years older than he is. So I have a lot of connection, not personal connection, but historical or in a heritage, like my heritage is connected to the royal family, if that makes any sense. But even though it is, I live in the US for a reason. I don't believe in the monarchy. It's not for me. And I'm not a Meghan Markle fan. I'm very neutral. I don't really have any bitterness towards either of them. I don't like either of them. I'm very neutral about both of them. And I only say that to say that I remember when one of my good friends was raving about Meghan Markle, and he said that she found her prince, and this he bought into the story. And I told him that, and he was like, "Oh, the royal family is bullying her," and I was like, "It's a very different culture, and the biggest problem people have with American society is that, and I'm an American, I consider myself American, but the biggest problem that they have with us is that we often place our beliefs on everybody else, and we cannot do that." And the reason I'm explaining this is because people want to say Meghan Markle was bullied because she wasn't hugged, stuff like that. But it's a completely different culture. I did not grow up hugging my grandmother. That's the kind of culture. It's a very cold culture. So people don't really understand it. You don't show someone a sign of respect who's your elder by hugging them. It's different to American culture, where you have to curtsy. You have to, I went to a very British school where you don't look certain people in the eye, stuff like that. You hold yourself a certain way. Elbows are never on the table. You never speak back to your elders. Stuff like that. So I said to my friend, and I still believe this today, even though I'm not a fan of either of them, I don't believe she was bullied by the royal family. I believe it was just a difference of culture, completely different cultures. And yeah, it's completely different cultures. When I came back to America, I had to remember, oh yeah, you hug people, you're like more warm. I grew up in a very cold, stoic culture. Well, South African culture is warm, but I went to a British school. Most of my friends, very British influence. A lot of them, their parents are British. So I grew up very, very British. And in British culture, you don't really hug people. It's a very cold culture compared to America. So I didn't like that she was only seeing it from her perspective. And that's what happens with a lot of cross culture between Europe, which I'm going to include the UK and Europe for this, and the USA in general. So he is having difficulty culturally adapting. He feels like, and I did say this also in my video I did a long time ago about them, that the number one thing that happens in ABUSIVE, I think she is that way towards him, that the person isolates you from your surroundings, from what you're familiar with. So they'll have you move, they'll come up with a reason to have you move to another country, stuff like that, which is what I think she did to him, so that he could not be in his familiar settings, which is in England. So, and he's not per se a victim because he did have a choice in moving and so forth. But I think she's manipulated him to the point where he will not even know who he is anymore. And it's getting to that point. So 4 of Cups in reverse, the High Priestess and 7 of Swords. The family is about to step in. The royal family is about to step in and say, what happened to Harry? He's so different. He's so this, he's so that. And it's almost like he's become a robot for her because she's very good at manipulating, very good at playing the victim. They're going to constantly say, what happened? You know, we all have that family member or friend or somebody in our lives. I've been that person before. I was in a manipulative relationship. People used to ask me, what happened to you? You changed. I was a shell of myself, you know, because I was heavily manipulated, heavily gaslit. I changed who I was for this person because I thought it would make me a better person. And I think I see the same energy with him. So people are going to start to ask, what's going on with him? He's acting weird. He's going to change his appearance a lot. And that's what's going to spark the kind of revival of Prince Harry. I see him moving back. I see another woman coming to the picture. They're going to set him up with another woman. And then he's going to leave her, which I see happening very, very soon. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Sorry to go on a tangent about my past. I just wanted to explain that I don't have any. I used to have bitterness towards my upbringing, that I grew up very British. In fact, sometimes when I go back to London, I remember the last time I went back, I was on a plane, right? And this woman behind me, I had gone from Canada to London, and this woman behind me with her child, I remember this so specifically, I put on the light. You know, when it's dark and you put on your own light. Oh, hi, Strange Fruit. How are you? I'm so glad you caught it too. I hope the new time isn't really affecting you. I apologize. I had to change times because of the algorithm, and I have some personal changes going on in my life, so I had to change times. But it's so great to see you. Thank you for joining. So I was on the plane and I was about to go to London, and I just remember this woman behind me just asking me why I switched on the light, and she switched it off, and I was just like, oh my gosh, welcome back to England. I just felt like, hi dear, oh, you're doing good, that's good to hear. So personally, I prefer to live in America. Growing up in South Africa and England, I always felt like an outsider. I really didn't like it. Even when I go back, I go more to England than I do to South Africa. When I go back, how are you, Jasmine? Nice to see you. So glad you joined. Yay. So yeah, when I go back, I just feel the judgment. It just starts automatically on the plane. I know when I'm going back to London, I can feel the judgment. And I do miss many great things about London. I miss, it's gonna sound weird, but I miss like candy, chocolate, or sweets, as they call it, that I grew up on. South Africa, I don't really feel connected to either, but I miss more London than I do South Africa actually. It's such a romantic city and country, I think. And obviously, people like rural areas in England and South Africa, people are way nicer, way nicer. But I grew up in the city, so when I go to the cities, London and Johannesburg, I just feel like I wasted my time coming here. As much as I love, one of my best friends lives in London, so I usually go to see him. But man, when I go, it's just such a different society, and just I love the freedom of being in the USA. And I think every time I leave, I'm like, please, can I? I need to go back. I need to go back home now. Yeah, so that's just my spiel. Is that I've made peace with it because it used to really bother me. I was like, I went to a very British school, you know. In fact, I wasn't allowed to wear braids at one of my schools, and then they had to petition to wear braids, stuff like that. So I went to a very like traditional, just backward school, very backward school. But yeah, so I had to forgive. I had to forgive a lot of what I grew up in, you know, that like traditional mentality, which has its place. they're not for someone like me, you know. So now I'm neutral. But before I was very jaded about it. In fact, I don't want to go back to either country. Even South Africa has issues going back these days. Because I'm like, just it's such a different world to me. And there's many great things, many great qualities about South Africa. I miss some parts of my family still live there, but it's just so different to what I've become accustomed to. And new time is perfect. It works out really. Okay, great. Yeah, because you're what, 6 hours ahead of me, right? So I'm on Eastern time. Okay, so let's go to the last couple. I'm going to use the Star Child Tarot for this. Love this deck. Really beautiful. I do have, I forgot to announce this. I just recorded 3 videos, right? And one of them is what happened to Liam Payne. It's going to be exclusive for members, so I will not be releasing it to the public. It's only for members. So if you want to watch it, I will release it probably tomorrow. I work in the morning and then I'll come back at night and probably edit it then. But exclusive, completely exclusive. Okay, so let's see the general energy. Let me look at the birth chart. I almost forgot to do that. Let's start with Timothee. So his sun is in Capricorn, Moon is in Pisces, Venus in Aquarius. Interesting. Now let's look at hers. Can't find his rising. Let's look at hers. Okay, Sun in Leo, then a Scorpio, rising in Capricorn. Interesting. Venus in Virgo. So I did just also record a video about Timothee 2025 predictions, along with 4 other people. So stay tuned for that. Members will have it tomorrow. Everybody else next Wednesday. And I did say she's trying to chase after him, and he has another path coming. Check out my video. It's going very, very interesting. So let's see. Okay. He's trying to break up with her. 4 of Swords and the World. But every time he tries to break up with her, she calls her mother. This is the energy that I get. She calls her mother and she's like, he's trying to break up with me. She starts hysterically crying. And then they put out like an image, or they call the paparazzi that they're stronger than ever and all that stuff. So he's been trying to break up with her for quite some time. Yeah, 10 of Cups, Queen of Cups. He's been trying to break up with her. But because I think he's met somebody else. I see another person in the picture who's more mature. I think she's in France, and I speak about this in the video, so please make sure you stay tuned. I think she's in France. Let me see his background, because I... Okay, so is he French? Let's see. Ethnicity. Was born in New York to an American mother, Russian and French father. Okay, so this is the thing. I was doing a video on him, and I got images of France, him moving back to France. Watch the rest of it. I'm not going to say anything more than that. And I started thinking, because I used to live near the French school in New York, which was on, I think, 71st in New York, because I used to walk past it to go to the train station, or 72nd. No, 73rd. French school in New York. And he probably went to that school, French school. Then the Upper East Side. Let's see. Lycée Français, exactly. Okay, 75th. So 75th school. Or there's also Lyons, New York. But that's the language school. I think it's this one, Lycée Français. I think that's where he went. Anyways, I just said this thing. So, okay, so his dad is French. Makes sense. So, yeah, I see him moving to France. I'm not going to say too much about that. And I see that he's been trying to break up with her, which is very big because I see it happening very soon. Very, very soon, fortunately. Or fortunately, however you look at it. But yeah, so that's what I have for you guys. Does anybody want to say anything before I end the live? I have to run some errands right now. But like I said, I have a Liam Payne video coming out just for members only. It will only ever be released for members. It's coming out tomorrow after I edit it. And so check that out. I'm going to do what happened to Liam Payne. I've got a lot of downloads, a lot of information, and it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. But that aside, thank you everybody for joining. Next week I will try to do a live at 2 p.m. I'll try. It's just that, so much happens in the day, and I'm always like, yes, I'll do this, I'll do that, and then I get caught up in work and doing my hair, stuff like that. And I don't like to rush. Rushing is not the best. I'm gonna rewatch the video. I'm gonna catch the video after uploading. Great, perfect, sounds good. Thank you everybody for joining and watching and being a part of this community. I'm so grateful. I really, really am. When I don't have a good day and I don't have a good week, this really gives me hope and really gives me purpose. So thank you, everybody. I do have more 2025 predictions coming up. The ones I did today will be for members only tomorrow, and then next week I'm going to continue doing them throughout January. Also, if you're a member and you want to see a Harry Styles video, because I know most of you follow me for Harry Styles, ask me what you want, and I will have it only for members, and then I'll release it soon for everybody else. So please check that out. I'm going to end this now. I love you all, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Oh, thank you, Strange Fruit. Lots of love to you. Take care.